Good morning, everybody. So it's been a couple of days since I did the last update, and the reason for that is that I had my weekend duty at work. So, and it was a more stressful one than usual, I would say. Doesn't tend to be that much to do, but this weekend turned out to be one of those a little bit more worse ones. I did still manage to squeeze in some walks for sure, so that has been taken care of. However, the video making was put on the back burner because I didn't have sufficient time to sit and edit videos in the evening time, so that's unfortunate. However, today is Tuesday, and Tuesday, for me at least this time around, means that I'm having a day off because I had a weekend duty. So I'm going to enjoy my little walk and my little video editing on my day off. For today's topic, I was then thinking that I would discuss a little bit about what kind of work I actually do, since it has been jumping into my daily life now, and also doing these videos and editing and so on. So I thought that would be a good idea to just touch upon during today's topic. At the moment, I am actually working from home the majority of my time for these COVID-19 and for other personal reasons like the kidney stone issue that I talked about earlier. So it actually means that I have been working from home since February. That's quite a long time, but at least the kind of job that I do does not require a physical presence at my office. My office is located in Denmark, actually. So it is quite a bit of a travel if I ever would choose to get around there. I'm always counting on with potential delays in traffic and so on, that it takes about 2 hours one way, so 4 hours in total on my working day to get back. And working from home has actually enabled me quite a lot to utilize that time spent on traveling for my work and for my interests instead. It's been quite beneficial, for sure. What I do is, when I sit down at my computer, which is my main working tool, is to plan container ships. Now, container ships are these really, really big, gigantic 400-meter vessels that are cruising on the oceans and gets loaded up with all the necessities of the world for you to enjoy. It can also be very, very much smaller ones, ranging down to 150 meters in length instead. And of course they don't carry as many of these lovely containers. But yeah, that's what I do. I plan containers on board ships. I decide, at least initially, where they should be placed from a logical perspective. So there's a lot of things that has to fit together here. If you can imagine a vessel, a ship, being like let's just remember those summer days when you were balancing on something out in the water. So as much as you put weight on the top of it and became top heavy, the higher risk it was that it would actually flip over and you would tilt down into the water. The same thing, exactly the same thing, applies to a container ship. There's no difference there. So what I have to do is I have to take that into consideration, put these containers in a way that enables it to load as much as possible while still not topping over and tilting into the water, because that can spell hazardous for sure. That's the main thing. Get that cargo on board while maintaining the safety of the crew and the ship that operate the vessel. Then there are so many different types of containers. So you have the regular boxes that you see on the roads every day. Then you have boxes that contain stuff that is very harmful, that we call dangerous goods. And those you have to take huge consideration into where you place on board, so that it doesn't interact with other cargo or maybe other containers that contain hazardous stuff that doesn't play nice together. Then you have those things that are not boxes but objects that go outside of the size of a box. So those you also have to think about where to put. And those usually play more of a role to be put where they don't make a lot of fuss, as little fuss as possible, because they are not a box, they are not Tetris shaped, so they don't play nicely into the layout, as we would call it. So after I've created this plan and think it makes sense from a rotation point of view of the vessel, then I send it off to the terminal that is going to operate the vessel and the vessel itself. Now I can get a lot of feedback here in this stage, like from the vessel, that it doesn't want to see these things, or it has good suggestions to do this and that. The terminal may come back and say, oh, by the way, we have these additional boxes, or we have less boxes for this destination, and so on. Please adjust the plan. Okay, great. I can swear a little bit in the background, or I can rejoice, depending on what the reply is. Like everything is good, then woohoo, let's move on. But yeah, may need to change the plan. Do that, send it out again, get it reapproved by all parties. If there are no issues during the port stay, then everything is good, vessel sails on, and I can plan the next terminal call for the vessel. And that goes on a rotation for not just one vessel in my case, but up to 13 vessels that I do this for. And I also have some colleagues, and they do exactly the same thing with exactly the same, close to the same amount of vessels. And of course then it counts into about, I would say 50-ish vessels that we need to maintain and plan on a daily basis. There are of course several other small projects and side things to be done, and many questions that arise that are not maybe related to actual stowage of a vessel, that we still need to reply to if we have some form of expertise, and maybe we can answer it in a good way to that party. So yeah, that is what I do on a daily basis. Hope that made sense. Otherwise, leave some questions in the comment section below and I can get back to that. Have a nice day, joggers.